Hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. Welcome to my market recap video. Today we're going to be looking at a number of trades from today's trading action on the NQ 133 tick. Now remember, it doesn't matter whether you're trading the Euro Stock X50, the YM, the ES, the Forex market. These setups are universal. They work on all markets, all time frames. So please keep that in mind. Now if you haven't already done so, if you go to full screen, because in a couple of minutes we're going to go and look at these trade setups on the charts, and it just makes it a little easier. So bottom right hand corner, click on that and you will go to full screen. Now if you haven't already done so, please read my risk disclaimer. I'm required by the CFTC to put up a risk disclaimer, and of course my students that have my program see this every video, so I know you get sick of it, but I'm required by law to put this up. For late great Jim Rohn, I absolutely love this line: don't get frustrated, get fascinated. Traders, I talk a lot about having a compelling future, and our future is really dictated by the questions that we ask ourselves and what we say to ourselves. Rather than why do I always lose at trading, we want to reframe it to what can I learn from this. And I love what Jim says there: don't get frustrated, get fascinated. Likewise, if you're new to trading and learning the setups, start with one setup, master it, own it, and you must execute that setup at least 100 trades 100 trades flawlessly, or you've got to go back and start again. Traders, give yourself some time. Treat it as a 90-day internship. Please take your time in learning how to trade. Now I want to talk to you about this very quickly as well, about risk management. I still come across of course 70% of my students are experienced traders, and I still have my experienced traders and even new traders still go and try to trade with more than 2% of your account. Traders, it's suicide. It really is. You are going to have a time period where you have 5 or 6 losing trades in a row. You're down 10 to 12% plus, and that's on 2%, and it really erodes your confidence. Get rich slowly. That is, build your account over a period of time. Treat it as an internship. Be fair upon yourself. So if you have a $10,000 account, remember what I preach all the time: still start off with one contract. Start with one. Even though here on a 2% risk with a 65% stop, which is fairly typical on an NQ 133 tick chart, it means here that you could be trading 3 contracts. When you first start out trading, start by targeting 100 a day. That's 1,500 a week after you build. That is, start by trading 1 contract and earn your stripes. Earn the right to be trading 3 contracts. Take your time, because there's nothing worse than having a run of losses and it really erodes your confidence. Remember, trading is 90% plus psychology, 5% money management, and only 5% the strategy. Now this is something that I actually borrowed off another site, and off a gentleman called Bill, what's his name, sorry, Futures Trading Secrets. He's got an excellent course actually, and I don't mind talking about other courses and other products. He's a great teacher and he's got a great course, and he had this on his website, and this is something that I find really interesting here. But if you start off with $5,000 trading 2 contracts and earning $100 a day, look where you are after 13 weeks. Now yes, your risk factor on that, depending on your stop, doing what we do, is between 3.3% per trade and 6.6%. So your risk really varies. However, using the market's money, you can build a great deal of wealth, of course, over a period of time as a trader. Now, by the way, I'm not endorsing this as a strategy, because what this strategy is talking about is using the market's money to increase your trading. Remember what I said earlier: get rich slowly. But you've got to have a compelling future to truly succeed in our business. This is the greatest business. This is the greatest career in the world today. And people ask me every day, I get an email, why do I teach? And those people that I coach one-on-one, either belly to belly, face to face, toe to toe, or online, ask me, why not just trade? I love teaching traders how to trade, and also my trading's through the roof. I'm a much better trader for it. But the thing I want to get across to everyone here is you must have a compelling future, which is just so important. So this works really well for me. Before we get to the charts, I'm patient, I'm disciplined, I'm focused. I call myself a sniper trader. Traders, that is, one shot, one kill. I'm a rules-based pattern trader. What will work for you? What will work for you? If you're an experienced trader that's been struggling, you need to have a rules-based pattern. You need to be a rules-based pattern trader, because we're all visual. It's so easy to see a visual pattern appearing on your indicators. Now, if you are a pure price action trader, of course you're going to be trading the T25 strategy. Remembering, I train you in over 12 different strategies. Some traders come to me and say, look, I don't believe in indicators. Well, indicators, it may get you in late, but visually it can be a lot easier. But the point I wanted to bring up here, if trading's been difficult for you, or if you're a brand new trader or wanting to learn how to trade, you must start off by trading a rules-based strategy. And before we go to the charts, very quickly, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remembering, for an investment of only $197, you get my top 12 day trading strategies. As most of you are aware, I've got well over 100 videos now on YouTube of my day trading, and I love trading. And it's now, my course now has over 20 hours of recorded live sessions and trading strategies recaps. So please go to my website, imadaytrader.com, or drop me an email if you'd like any more details. So let's go and have a look at some charts. So number one, for a newer trader, when I train you, I overlay one indicator at a time, so you soon learn what all of these are. Now, I use a trading package called TradeStation. Of course, one of the most popular package I now come across is NinjaTrader, and I don't provide the indicators for all other packages, but I give you the indicator settings so you can be very, very close to what I do, and I give you links to a number of others. Now, one question, and this has come up from a number of students, is what do they do if they don't have, and let me just do this very, very quickly, traders, if they don't have the T1 indicator. Now, the T1 is this little white paint bar you see here. Okay, you can see that white paint bar. Well, students, what you do is you wait for price to close under the 8 EMA. Now we can see here, we can see the blue line here is the 8 EMA. If you don't have that and you've had a little swing low or a swing high, wait for price action to close under or over the 8 EMA. It's really very, very simple, very, very simple. So let's have a look at some of these setups here. So the market, this is today's action, which is the it was for the 22nd here down under in Australia. It's the 23rd, so it was a 22nd action, 22nd of the 9th. So let's have a look. So let's start with patterns. So what we can see here very, very clearly, if we start with the T2s, you can see here is a T2, bang, we've got a nice little double bottom, then you've got another T2. You've got one here which is not a great one, because we like to be below the 50% level. We like to see that pullback of a short-term stoke below 50. However, you have got a T25 right there, you can see it there. Then we head into, what is this trade right here? This is a pivot bounce, and it's a T89. So I've also got divergence here. I've got a lower low on my platinum, I've got a higher high on price. So this is a really nice T89, plus it's off the pivot. And when we get these T89s off a pivot, they're a very high accurate trade. Now on top of that, something I forgot to mention is the T20. Okay, we can see a T20 there, one, and here's another T20 there. So T20 to go long, and notice it was all the way up to there. Then you've got a T20 to go short right there. Now this little trade here is a T10. So you can see here that our 8 EMA is also crossed. We've closed under. Now it's not uncommon, of course, to get a bounce right here, because what have we got? We've got the 89 and we got the 200. Then we cross through, and what do we have here? We've got a very clear-cut T2. Here you got a very clear-cut T2 again. You did have a pivot bounce for a T89. Now for my newer traders, a T89 traders is a counter trend trade, a higher risk. And what I say to all traders, start off by trading with the trend only. Follow the yellow. See the yellow? That gives us a really good indication of where the trend is heading. And there's some other little things, of course, we look for as well. We had a very brief T20 here with a bounce off the 89. An 89 EMA bounce is a very high probability trade that we trade every day. We've got then continuing with the trend, another T20, and you've got that really is a T2 because we're still with the trend. You see that happen. Now we head on down. We've got here, we have a classic T2, a T2, a T2. You got stopped on that one because it ticked up more than 2 stops. So where do we place our stops? Our stop is 2 ticks above our closest swing high. Okay, now also beware of more than 3 trades in a trend. Okay, 3 waves. The market moves in waves. Once you've had more than 3, you want to start to be really cautious with that, because there's a very good chance, even though we had a fantastic run, that there's a good chance that we're going to have a change in trend direction. And what do we have there? I think we had 4 or 5 really strong trades with that trend. Now also let me just remove the channel here for a moment, just make it a little easier for you to see it. Okay, so here we had another T20 and we're starting to get a change in trend here. Okay, and notice our weight closes above the 34, little T20, then back again. Then what have I got here? A 200B. Okay, we had a 200B there. Then, and by the way, yes, you could have easily taken that trade right there as a T10 and been stopped. Okay, so taking that trade there, you would have been stopped. So moving along, we've having a great run so far. We've got a T10 to the short side, and you can see here, this is where you want to really start to be cautious. And you can see what we've got here is our 89 is virtually horizontal along with the 34. And yes, I'm not going to insult you, sometimes this can be really difficult to see at the time. So you can see it traveling, but look for these T20s. When you get these T20s and your longer term, look at your 200 bounce here, 200 bounce here. It gives you a good overview of where the market is heading. Okay, you had another 200 bounce, which also is a T7. Now I should mention, traders, particularly those watching my videos, we code all of our different setups. We've got I think there's now about 14 of them. We give them codes, just makes it easier when we train it, you learn the codes. But look, you got some lovely divergence here, lower, a double top, lower low, and away it goes. Here another perfect T2, look at that there. And virtually every one of these trades that I'm pointing out and calling are all patterns. The market has a memory. These patterns repeat themselves day in, day out. Now for my students that are watching this, by following say the T2s and maybe the T10s and documenting every trade as they happen, keep accurate stats. Now you've seen my dozens of trade books where I keep trade stats. On my new website in the next week or so, we're going to actually be having a section for my students where we actually publish every day the trade stats, so you can go back and just make sure that you're executing the same trades there. Now look at this here. This is a classic T19, lower low, higher high. You can see it there. See there, T20, 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 lovely little T7 double bottom, and away it goes. And look at that, we're above the 0 line and forms, what's this here, a T10. What have we got here? Another classic 200 bounce. Now look at those there. We've had how many in a row? 200 bounces. 1 2 3 4 5 200 B's, all in the direction of the trend. Bounce, 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 bounce. It's unusual to have so many also. I'm going to give you that. Okay, now we're starting to get a higher low, and you can see there we're starting to get a change in trend. Then what do I have formed just here? Another T20. Down here we can see we've got really a cross between a T2 and a T10. Up it goes. Then we've got some very strong divergence. Now another thing, traders, is that when you start to see price angling away from your 34, your 21, or even your 89, see we're getting this angulation. When you start to see price move away from that, the alarm bells really start to ring. And there's one other thing. When you see price move away from your 8 EMA like we've got here, you know it's going to come back at some stage. But be watching for the closes under the 8 EMA. Okay, so let's have a look at this for a moment. We close above, change your market direction. We close under, change your market direction. We close above, change your market direction. Here we close under, change your market direction. We close above, short term. We close above, short term. Can you see any patterns appearing here, traders? Now look at this here. We've closed under, all the way still under, under. We close above. I'm looking for the cross. Okay, short-term move, little scalp, and back down we go again. The 8 EMA is one of the most underutilized simple strategies there is. See here, cross, close above, away we go. Under, down. Now here, notice the 8 stayed under the 34 all the way to down here. Traders, you can see here that trading with the trend really simplifies your trading. So how do we signify, how do we know that we're with the trend? Well, if our 8 and 21 is above the 34, at least in the short term we are in an uptrend. So you can see here, uptrend all the way up here. Okay, and down here we can see we're under the 34. Okay, above the 34. So the rules are you want to see your 8 and ideally, and even better still, your 8 and 21 above the 34 to tell you you're in an uptrend. Look for your little double tops, double bottoms, very reliable. So traders, I'm going to wrap this up right now. Here we've got a beautiful T89 right there. Look at this. When you've got fantastic angulation, if I go and put in the bands there, let me just go up here. Let's just put the bands in. Oops, gee, I mucked that up. Let me go and try that again. Okay, put this in. Okay, look at this here. Look at that gap. Okay, lovely T89. Now, one can say, well, what about this T89? You can see here, but we haven't closed under V8. If you close under V8, it's something I'm really enforcing now, just as an extra qualifier here. Close under V8, away you go. Another 200 bounce over here. Look at that there. At least you come down, you bounce off a 200. So traders, I cover all of these extensively in my fast track day traders program. What's interesting, I received an email from a client about and actually it was a good point he brought up, because I'll refer you to various sites where you can get some of the indicators that I use free of charge. I mean, if you can get to them free, why pay for them? And I respect this gentleman. He said, what he said, if they're free, they're probably no good, or something to that effect. You know, why would they give them away for any good? Well, traders, the floor traders of old, they traded purely price action. Now, I'm yet to see, and you've watched in my videos, you've seen the hundreds of systems and strategies that I've back tested, the coding that I do, and the programs I'm involved in, and the we trade for use, etc. And quite frankly, we don't have one truly sophisticated indicator I can tell you is going to change the world of trading. Some of the best trading strategies that we have are using simple indicators that you can obtain on any trading system. don't be fooled by the hype that you've got to spend thousands of dollars in learning how to trade. For a few $100s you can be underway. You'll never have to invest in one other trading program again. Now let me say this, that if you purchase the fast track day trading program and you continually look for something else, you're breaking all the rules, everything that I'm trying to get across here. I've done the research for you. I research every day and I deliver all of that to my students every day. So I am your researcher, if you like. So what I present to you is some of the world's best day trading strategies. Now, trading at times may be boring, and I received an email from one of my students is that he admits he gets bored and he starts making mistakes. Well, as I said in a video a few days ago, draw trend lines then. Start drawing in channels, draw your fractal trend lines in, etc. Occupy your mind while you're waiting. But remember, in our business we only have to work a couple of hours a day and we've got our $100 plus per contract. So traders, please drop me a email if you've got any questions, or I look forward to having you on board as a student, so you can simply go to my website and purchase or drop me an email and I'll send you an invoice. Thank you.